Hello, this is Michael Sylvia. Thank you for coming back to my podcast, the Morning Star Archangel podcast, which is myself, Michael Sylvia. Welcome back, family and friends. And if you have not subscribed, please subscribe. I am here with the good old 420. I noticed in my last video when I smoked the 420 in front of you, my bong was a little dirty, and it's clean now. So that's the thing, you got to keep things clean. You know, got a little haircut not too long ago, so that feels good too, right? Did it myself, so that's where I'm at there. I want to discuss aliens, UFOs, witchcraft. Those are things that I like to think about and talk about on my own spare time, amongst war and other things that I can always get into. But before we get into that, I just want to say I love you. Most certainly love yourself, no matter what happens in life, no matter how negative it feels, no matter how much people may try and put you down. Always know at the end of the day that God loves you. You definitely have yourself. You've got your mind, you've got your soul, you got your body, you've got your family, you've got friends, you've got love, and you know that's real. But a toast to you all. Where would we be without 420, without marijuana? I know for myself, I'd be much more unpleasant for myself. Yeah, most certainly. But yeah, so I was watching a video, and I've watched a lot of things on the Roswell incident, right? So in the Roswell incident in the 1940s, there's 11 witnesses, all saying that they saw aliens in a UFO. So I'm thinking to myself, I wasn't there back then, so, we don't know, right? But 11 people in a small town that all know each other, are all collaborating the exact same story. And then the military comes in with the hush-hush, about the aliens. So the military goes in there, scoops everything up, and then later on says it's a Russian weather balloon. And that's that. So there's the story. So which side do you believe? And I think that's pretty interesting. Because I know that they were saying that there was right after that when they came out with Area 51. Area 51. 5 plus 1 is 6. 666, right? And deep below the 666 facility, maybe a angry, mean little fucking alien that runs everything. It's an interesting, far-out theory with no facts to back it, but hey, I can dream, can't I? So, I'm having fun thinking about that stuff. It's fun. Why not? Because at the end of the day, what do we have in our lives? Even though I love my life, I have a job that I go to that I enjoy. I love my living situation. I've got good friends. Everything's working out. I go to the gym. I keep my mind as healthy as I can. I keep my body as healthy as I can. So, and then every day on top of that, I'm always looking to improve. I should tell you that I've been working on a book. I've never told anybody this on my podcast, but I've been working on a book. Not entirely sure what the title is going to be, but it's basically loosely based on my life. It's more of a novel, with a lot of fact in it, but you can go with it, So it's a book I've been writing, and then inside of it's going to be things that I've written down, like because like whenever I go into my trances, because I believe in witchcraft and I do practice it myself 100%. All right, so like when I get onto my rug and do my rituals and go into the trances and write things down and come up with these human-like Ouija board conclusions written down from English language. It's hard to explain, but anyways, witchcraft is most certainly real, but it's just like science, you know. It's like, you know, if you don't know what you're doing, it gets messy. So back to Roswell. 11 eyewitnesses. To me, it's like if the one person's saying it and they're not really, you know, you got to look back on the background. But if you have 11 people, and you know, so that's what it is. And then so you got Area 51, alien or two or whatever aliens living underneath down there. And check this out. Do you remember on Facebook when some goofball had a whole bunch, he had over 1 million people all saying that they were going to go raid Area 51? You remember that? A whole bunch of people were going to go there, and at the end of the day, nobody showed up. It was like 5 or 6 people, and they had mental issues. So people are going to act out what they really think, and people, I'm sure at the end of the day, were like, yeah, let's go do it. But then they're like, well, I mean, like, if you go over there and try and tackle that place, whatever they have is always going to be better than what you bring. So it just doesn't make any sense. Like, and even if you did get down in there, who's to say you're ever going to come back out? You know, like, you don't know what goes on over there. You know, especially if they want to keep it a secret. And more than likely by now, that place is so talked about and so on the radar that they probably move things around anyways. Who knows? It's pretty interesting. But a friend of mine and I, we were talking about the pyramids, right? I mean, isn't it fascinating that there's pyramids in Mexico all around down there? Then you've got one area in Mexico where you've got the pyramid of the sun, the pyramid of the moon, and temples all along surrounding that. And it's in that description what I just told you, that it's an 8 by 8 mile area, 8 miles by 8 miles. All these pyramids and temples for worship, and then there was another temple over there next to it called the Pyramid of the Feathered Serpent. And in the 80s, they ended up finding that there were hundreds of bodies buried next to it. They were all for human sacrifice. So. And then again, there's those big African-like heads with the helmets on them. They're all big. They're in stone. I've talked about them before. The Olmecs. The Olmecs, I'm telling you, they're like underrated in history. They must have put some type of impact into America and to help out with getting pyramids along the way because they had some type of connection with ancient Egypt and other places like that we don't even know about. You know, because there's the history we know, and then there's the history that just hasn't been reported. I have a healthy pair of lungs. I'm happy about that, because I don't smoke cigarettes. I only smoke weed. And that's the way to go. I think weed's good for you. People that think it's bad for you, I mean, listen, it's just like saying like this. It's like alcohol, right? Or pharmaceutical drugs or something, or anything along those lines, where there's people that can handle alcohol or handle their medication, and then there's other people, that small margin, that abuse it. Just is. You can't get away from that. Just like in the credit world, there's people that pay their bills, and there's a small margin that don't. Can't zero any of those things out. It's just the way it is. It's a little mess. So, human error everywhere. Marijuana, for me, is a good thing. And I'm an advocate of it, of course. And what else do I have going on? So I'm just chilling out in my car, Yeah, Roswell. So we got Roswell, we got Area 51, and then I was just watching this other thing about how we kind of like helped the Japanese scientists after World War II. Yeah, like, I guess like not only did we like employ Nazi scientists, but we also employed the Japanese scientists after we took over Japan. It's like, man, huh? Woo! How deep does it get? Oh my God. I'm a fan of history. I don't get mad at it. I'm not picking any sides. I'm an American and I love history. It just is what it is, folks. And I look at it like this too. 98, 97%, 99% of all life that ever lived on this planet that we know of, this 4.5 billion year old planet, most of that life that ever did live is extinct. And it's never coming back. Like, ever. Unless we can duplicate it because we got this DNA, we can do something with the scientific research or whatever. So maybe a little bit of something, but you get my point. So death comes with the territory. But in the meantime, the miracle is that we're here. And while we're here, of course, we're going to make it count. So gotta enjoy life. You know, there is stress in life, and I get that. I've been through plenty of it. I already know. But it doesn't have to always be that way, especially when you got a choice. You know, so I'm just reflecting on all that right now with this bong hit. Yeah, feels good. It feels good. What else is there to talk about? Yeah, the pyramids. I mean, my God. I mean, think about it. There were pyramids in America, North America. I guess there were pyramids in Missouri. They're all mud pyramids by the Native Americans down there. So they were there. And what else? So all the pyramids in the middle of them in Mexico, in Central America. You know, Egypt. I know there's small pyramids they found in Ethiopia, you know. And then how come is it that there's the feathered serpent and that pyramid, like a snake or a lizard with feathers, you know. And then lizard with feathers, Lucifer. You know what else I think about too is that the dragon is definitely worshipped throughout the world. Through China, Dracula translated actually means dragon. So you got and that was running in his family, and then you've got the British as well with the Queen and King and all them. Whether they admitted it or not, at the end of the day, their ancestors for sure all believed in being from the dragon, from the lizard. And what about the Aborigines? Same thing. They say that they believe they came from the crocodile or from lizards as well. And then we had dinosaurs or lizards way back then. And you know, so it's interesting that what we could have or may have evolved from. Because everyone looks at Lucy, right? You know, the Lucy from 1979. It was a Professor Leakey. They found this little pieces of fossils of this thing they call Lucy. They're saying that's the ancestor, but it's like, you know, you don't really know that. You know, I mean, it's probably true. I'm not going against it. I'm open to it. I'm just saying, like, that's not just because you found that one thing that doesn't mean that's everything. You know, there's a lot of other things you still haven't discovered yet. We haven't discovered yet. I know it. We know it. It happens all the time. I gotta repack this thing. So I was gonna go down to the ocean today and and do this video, but you know, it was kind of dreary all day, and I wanted to get good lighting so I could smile at everybody, say hi and I love you, of course, talk about those aliens, you know, mind reading aliens that can know your bullshit and everyone else's and be like, is humans, what are up with humans, you know? What do you think about that Bob Lazar story? That's another one too. I'm back and forth on Bob Lazar. Either way, I love Bob Lazar. Bob Lazar is pretty cool. Says that he saw he said he saw the alien, but he said he saw and worked on UFOs for the U.S. government. So, who knows? Who knows? I mean, and think about it like this. They're always like, well, people are saying, well, if this is the case, then why don't aliens just show themselves? You gotta, and I'm thinking to myself, like, there must be some type of protocol reasons why they just don't. It's kind of like corporations or militaries where they're like, you know, they're not going to give you the answer. You give them answers. That's the way it works. Difference, and that's just the way it is. So maybe that's the answer. I don't know. You know, Grandpa's fucking running shit. He don't want to talk. He's just not gonna talk, right? I don't know. Well, I do greatly and super appreciate your time with me. I'm not done with you yet. I'm still gonna talk to you. Let me put this other one up. Here we go. And I'm in my car relaxing, but I'm letting you know that I'm not driving anywhere. I'm parked in front of my place where I live. I'm gonna go inside right after I'm done with our podcast. Oh, I love my mom and dad. They're very good people. My dad's retired military. God bless him, and thank you, Dad, for your service in the military. And I love my mom. She's been a wonderful lady. You know. You know what she taught me that I love about her, that I really, I mean, one of many things is that, like, if you look at her record collection, it's all Motown. And then she installed it in my brain growing up, is like, no matter who you meet in life, Michael, you're never to be a sexist, a racist, or anything like that, to be disrespecting people or thinking people are below you, you know. So I like that, you know. I really enjoy that. Like for instance, like I have African American friends, you know, who I love, and to me, there's no racism because we're Americans, you know. And that's what, in my opinion, that I love about this country too, is that it is a melting pot. We're all mixing it up in here. And that's just what it is. And that's America. And that's what makes it so great. You know, you keep mixing it up. Keep on stirring the pot. Get all the genetics in here. Let everybody just live their lives out. No one's getting hurt. Everyone's obeying the laws. You know? And the laws in this country are good. I mean, I don't know what the problem is. I love New England. New England is a beautiful, beautiful place. I love Plymouth. I love Salem. I love Boston. I love Providence. You know, I love Maine. I love Maine. Maine is beautiful. It's got beautiful people. Beautiful land. Ocean view. The trees represent the seasons as you watch the colors flow through the year. Wow. So yeah. It's been a good day today. Kind of spent the time to myself. Yeah, that's what I did. So, it's been a pretty nice day. I'm stoned now. I feel good. 420 works for me. Yes, it does. So, I don't know. I hope you're having a good day. And if you're still listening, thank you. You know, I really love you. I appreciate you. You know, it's just that we're all living lives to where it's paycheck to paycheck, right? And you're like, oh, am I ever gonna get ahead? It's like, you know something? It always works out. It always works out. You know it does. God's real. We're in a good country. We all work for what we have. At the end of the day, it all comes together. It all comes together every single time, because that's what it does. It's one big healing system, one big giant organism that we all are as one when we go to work and we sleep at certain times, and we pay our bills and we are nice to each other and open up the doors for each other and pay our dues, be good role models. Oh, and must I say this, because you know me, I love the New England Patriots, and I'm a Tom Brady's fan, of course. I still love Tom Brady. You know, so of course I want the Buccaneers to do good too, but, you know, Patriots first, obviously. Oh my God, they've been doing good. So see how they do, keep going forward. Pretty nice. But I believe in Belichick. Give him a 5-year plan. You never know. See what happens. I mean, he's a Super Bowl coach. And but Brady, you know, he's on fire right now. So, but so are the Patriots. So, love how the NFL is looking right now in that department. Yeah. All right, so I'm gonna end it here. Let you know that I love you, and just definitely wanted to get a video out to you to let you know that I'm still here. You're still here. We're all still here. This planet, at the end of the day, starting a while back to now. To now, we've been created. We've been created by this planet. This planet was created by the formation of how this solar system started, how this galaxy started, how this universe started. For all of those things to happen from 14 billion years ago to 4.5 billion years ago to when we were born to here we are now, to what we are experiencing, the name you have, the love around you, and everything that you've been through has made you who you are today. So the magic in all of that is that you're alive, and I'm alive. And I already know I kind of say this already, but I really enjoy this. I enjoy the fact that here we are. And hopefully there's not too many more wars going on this planet, but you know how people are. They just can't help themselves. So, I don't know. Alright, so do I think Roswell happened? I mean, listen, I love the military and I love our government, so I'm not trying to talk crap about them. But of course, I would be open to believe that they collected UFO technology and that they collected the bodies of the aliens, took them to where they had to take them, and then kept it under wraps. And you got to remember that this is at a time that the internet wasn't around, right? television, those were like, what, 5 channels? You know what I mean? Like, so everything was really hardcore, everything was more hush-hush and regulated and easier to wrap up then than it is today. Today it's harder because everyone's got cell phones, everything's monitored, there's satellites, and there's just shit that they just didn't have back then. You know, that it was easier to get away with things. So, with all that said, with the 11 witnesses, and then since then, I guess accordingly so, is that when they did what was that called? Project Blue Book. That when they did Project Blue Book, they were investigating all these these UFO sightings, and there was the ones they could explain, and there was the ones that they couldn't, and there's the ones that they know are real. But they keep again, you want to be on top of things, you keep it to yourself. I get that, and I'm not mad at that. It's smart. So it's what it is. But in my opinion, the aliens here, yeah, they've probably been here even past that. But anyways, thanks for listening. Talking about Roswell, pyramids, and the miracle of life. We're all here having fun. So I'm going to smoke a little more. I'm going to go inside, and hope you all have a great rest of your night. And happy holidays, of course. So God bless. I love you. Thank you for joining. If you haven't, please subscribe. My name is Michael Sylvia. Thank you for joining my podcast called The Morning Star Archangel Podcast. Thank you very much for joining. I love you.